Welcome to AZAAZ, that's Ask Zenatta Anything About Zoho, the show where we take your Zoho questions and spin them into Zenatta Gold. I'm your host, Greg Belknap, Director of Zoho Development here at Zenatta Consulting, and today I am joined by one of our intrepid developers, Andrew. Andrew, how you doing today?
Good, Greg. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is your first AZAAZ, right? Making your,
It
I think
is.
your channel debut, like
Really, yeah.
any Zenatta YouTube videos. This is very exciting. We've had a lot of new
I mean, I
faces
think my little
on the show
picture's been on there
recently.
before.
Oh yeah. Oh, we've shown
Yeah.
your cartoon mug on a number of implementations of the week. So yeah, true. You're the true audience will be no strangers to your face, but they'll just be glad to
Hey.
see a little bit of the real you. All right,
Yeah.
let's hop into our question this week. This comes from a comment on our YouTube video, one of my YouTube videos actually. 3 essential tips for improving your error handling in Zoho Deluge. Sven asks, crazy. I have built workarounds so far because I didn't know that Deluge supports custom exceptions. I haven't seen the keyword throws sample string in any Deluge documentation, or have I just not looked hard enough? Well, Sven, don't worry, you're not crazy. It's not that you haven't looked hard enough. It's that Zoho doesn't seem to have it explicitly written down anywhere. In fact, I can tell you that when I first discovered the throws custom exception keyword, it was because sometimes if you really mess up writing your code and you're like missing like it's not just missing a semicolon, but it's like if you've say like you've like started an if statement but you forgot to close it or something like that, you get some big block of red text that says like expecting expecting a keyword, and then it lists off like send mail, zoho.crm, and one of them was throws, and I was like, wait, it was expecting the word throws. I didn't know that, so I tested it out, and here we are. But yeah, so I've got Andrew here with a little screen share for us of further demonstrating. Sven
Hmm.
sounds like Sven may already be familiar with custom exceptions, but definitely for any of our other viewers, wanted to show them what this feature is capable of. Andrew, take it away.
Yeah, definitely. So this right here is a pretty basic function. Really, all we're doing is we're putting our throws inside of a try catch. That's where you need to have it if you want to actually error out and return an error. So here's a couple ones that I'm doing. So like this one, if our contact doesn't have an email, then we're just going to throw an error that says no email found. If, say, for example, it was important to have related deals, then if there were no related deals, we would throw an error saying no related deals found. Now, a caveat to this is that custom exceptions are super handy. You can use them for all sorts of things just to kind of create your own custom errors. But having said all that, it's important that if you are going to have a custom exception built into your code, you really need to have that information populated somewhere, whether that's on a button or like, for example, something that we do here at Zenatta is we have an error log email snippet where we'll send an error log to ourselves of a code that's errored out. And that's where you could put your throws in and you could say, hey, we have no deal found, even though this function expects a deal. So to show that in practice, let's use just this custom or this test contact here. And this one here, we'll just say custom exception. And this one's going to run through. You see your error encountered. And that's because I just returned this little string bit plus the error itself. And so it says error encountered, error at line 13, custom exception, no email found. So pretty basic. And then if we were to say added email in there, let's go ahead and do that. And then we can go ahead and run it again. Now this time it did actually get the correct email. So now it says error encountered, custom exception, no related deals found. So this is just kind of a way that you could create your own custom errors to kind of help up speed workflows and make sure that you're getting the proper information you need to complete tasks. Because, for example, if you're trying to send an email to a contact, it's obviously not very useful if contact itself doesn't have any emails anyways. Or if, for example, you're trying to update some information on the related deals of a contact, but there weren't actually any related deals, well, then why should the function continue to run? So that's just kind of basic information on how to get that to run and some of the mentality and thoughts around where you should implement throws and how they should look and how they should be effective for your organization. So yeah, what do you think, Greg? What are your thoughts on throws?
I think you said pretty much all of it. Is great. You can. It's really useful for helping to pinpoint those errors faster, right? Because
Mhm.
you could have just set up a try catch without the custom exception, right? And if something had gone wrong because like an email wasn't there, you still would have caught that and maybe returned the message. But the issue is that the returned error would have been like, oh, couldn't perform get operation at line
Mhm.
20. And it's like, well, yeah, that is technically where the like breaking error happened. But the reason why you couldn't get something at line 20 is because you were missing something like the email, 10 lines up at like a
Yeah.
different part of the code. So, so really, really useful in that regard. One, it's not a drawback, but a limitation that the throws has is that you can't put any kind of variable inside of the throws statement. You
Yeah.
have to explicitly state what the string is. So like I couldn't create a throws statement where um, you know, uh, let's say that I searched for a contact and then I wanted to search for an email. I couldn't create a throws where I say, oh, grab that contact's name and have the throws exception be no email found for contact name.
Mhm.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't concatenate any variables in there. It's got to be something that is just hard coded and set from the get go.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
yeah.
well, one way that we've overcome that in some aspects is like I know sometimes you mentioned doing like an error map. So for example, if it was like a button that was mass updating a bunch of records, we could have an error map that says, "Hey, we errored out on these 3, 4 records, whatever it was," and actually return that information the way they want it, even though it's not quite including the throws. At least there's a workaround sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, yeah. That's it's funny, isn't it? How like sometimes you want to error out. Like that's it feels somehow counterintuitive, right? And maybe
Yeah.
that's why Zoho doesn't tell people about throws because they don't want a bunch of people airing out their own codes accidentally for no reason. But it's one of those things where yeah, you want to you can use try catches and throws to your advantage to create these kind of like cascading or like jumps around your code, right? You
Mhm.
can because you could have a throws inside of a try catch that isn't maybe for your whole code, but is for just like one piece of code, right? And then you can use that throws to like pass that into, like you were mentioning before, some kind of large map of all of the different messages that could have happened throughout the code that maybe this part succeeded and this part succeeded, but maybe this part failed, but maybe this part failing doesn't necessarily make the whole code fail, but it may just be some kind of like a warning message, that you would
Yeah.
want to like
Sure.
pass back, something like that. Well, thank you very much, Andrew. Glad you could finally join us here on the show, and
Yeah.
the people could finally put a voice to that cartoon face that they love already.
That's right.
that's gonna do it for us here at AZAAZ today. Uh, as always, if you head to Zenatta.com, you can check out our resource library where we have info on all the different Zoho bundles, pricing comparisons, as well as which apps we think are the best and which ones maybe need a little more time to cook, as the kids say nowadays. You could also sign up for our newsletter, get the latest Zoho news straight to your inbox. And if you want your questions to be featured on this show, head over to club.zenatta.com and sign up for our online community there, or leave a comment on the YouTube video down below. Also, if you want to get your team trained in less than a week on some of the core Zoho apps, you can head to zenatta.com/training and start prepping your team today. We appreciate a like and subscribe here on YouTube, as well as following us on your favorite choice of podcast app. We'll see you in the next video.